Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Molly.
Today, we're going to be looking at the fourth Captain America movie and the newest MCU movie, Captain America: Brave New World. It was at one point called New World Order, so that's why I called it that in another video, but it got changed for some reason or another.
Weird. Oh well.
Anyways, this is the first Captain America movie without Steve Rogers in it. In his place is Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson, who took over the shield from Cap after he came back from the past and at the end of Avengers Endgame. I guess spoiler alert from that, but it's been almost 6 years, so if you haven't seen the movie, then quit crying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This movie also takes it kind of requires the watching of some other MCU products in order to really understand everything going on, such as Eternals, The Incredible Hulk, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But it's okay. The movie more or less sums everything up for you in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I didn't watch those, and maybe I was confused at first, and I didn't really know who that one character was, but it was fine.
Which one?
The guy who gets put in jail.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Anyway, so basically at the end of Endgame, Cap gave Sam the shield, but at the beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Disney Plus miniseries, he gave it back to the U.S. government so that they can choose their own Captain America, which gave us John Walker. But when he sort of fell out of public appeal, just go with it, Sam takes the shield back, and then he becomes Captain America at the end. It's said in this movie that Sam's gear and all that is made out of vibranium, a gift from the Wakandans. This is because Bucky Barnes called in a favor from them and got him new gear, basically.
Okay.
So now Sam Wilson is Captain America, and that's basically a quick rundown on all that.
Yep. Simple.
Yes. Now, the plot of this movie is basically that the new president, Thaddeus Ross, now played by Harrison Ford after the death of William Hurt, he and other countries are trying to divvy up all this new material called adamantium found in the body of this celestial that's sticking out of the Indian Ocean. Now, this is from Eternals. Basically, the thing there is the Eternals prepare planets for celestials to be born. I don't really understand it. The movie explains it better than I am right now. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I didn't see Eternals, so I was confused.
It's kind of mid, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
Anyway, so now what's adamantium? It's basically another super special Marvel metal. Wolverine has it in his claws and throughout all of his skeleton. That's where most people know adamantium from. But what most people don't know is that in the comics, Cap's shield is some sort of mix between vibranium and adamantium.
Okay.
Just roll with it, basically. Now, in the movie, they claim that adamantium is stronger than vibranium. I'm not entirely sure on that. Just go with it, though. But it's not really made clear, like, in universe, why all the countries in the world want adamantium. Like, yeah, maybe they're trying to make up for not having access to vibranium that Wakanda and the Talokan have, maybe. And during President Ross's, his more or less meeting with the other world leaders, he says that it could do all this, but it's kind of vague with how they deal with adamantium.
Yeah, it seems vague.
Just roll with it. I'm sure they'll get around to it eventually. Anyways, also starring is Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres, the second Falcon to Sam Wilson's Captain America. Now, we met Joaquin Torres in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so that's where he comes from.
I didn't meet him there.
Well, just roll with it.
Yeah.
Shira Haas plays Ruth Bat-Sarath, the president's new head of security. And now, in the comics, she's an Israeli superhero, but given the most recent conflicts between Israel and Palestine, they decided to downplay that background and just have her as an Israeli member of the Red Room, where all the Black Widows come from.
Yeah.
Carl Lumbly plays Isaiah Bradley. He also showed up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. See, I did not know these people, and I did not watch that show, so that's why.
Now, Isaiah Bradley was the first black Captain America. He received a super soldier serum, and he went out during the Korean War, he went out to rescue prisoners of war, and, just like Steve Rogers did in World War II, but instead of getting a medal and a promotion, Isaiah Bradley got locked up in prison and tortured for 30 years.
That's not good.
No, kind of speaks to how the U.S. government has treated black people in the past and present.
Yeah, I was thinking that's kind of racist.
Now, at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he got his own wing in the Captain America Museum and was basically exonerated for his quote-unquote crimes, which he didn't commit.
Yeah, okay.
Also, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we're told that he and Bucky got into a fight when Bucky was still the Winter Soldier, and he took Bucky's prosthetic arm.
Oh my.
Tim Blake Nelson plays Samuel Stearns. In the comics, he's known as the Leader. He's an Incredible Hulk villain, and Tim Blake Nelson previously appeared in The Incredible Hulk as the same character. He was working with Edward Norton's Bruce Banner to figure out this Hulk thing. Here, he's sort of the secret villain in the shadows, sort of working things and taking control of people, which was kind of also vaguely defined. Like, it's just told that he's mind controlling people, which is which is why earlier in the movie Isaiah Bradley tries to assassinate President Ross, among other military figures in the White House. Like, we're told that he's mind controlling them, but like, how are you getting access to these people? From my knowledge, you didn't get any sort of access to them, so how are you doing it?
Yeah, I was kind of confused with that too. If you can't tell, I was confused a lot.
Like, we're told that you've been watching these people, which, okay, fine, whatever. We do see that he has camera access to certain parts of the White House and other things like that, but how is that going to help you really mind control them? And if you're able to mind control Bradley, then why not mind control, Sam Wilson, maybe Torres, some of these other people that are actively working against you? Like, why not do any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. I love you, Tim Blake Nelson, and I'm glad that you got another chance to play this character again, but it's kind of silly.
Yeah, a little silly.
And we have Giancarlo Esposito as a side villain, Sidewinder. He's one of the members of the Serpent Society, a terrorist organization in Marvel Comics. Now, funny thing about that, when Captain America 3 was first announced, it was announced as Serpent Society before they pulled a "just kidding, it's Civil War." So it's kind of funny to bring that group back.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like Giancarlo Esposito was pretty wasted in this movie. He gets maybe 3 scenes altogether, and to be fair, he is left alive at the end of the movie, so he's able to come back. But for a character like for a character actor like Giancarlo Esposito, I would expect a better role, more or less. Like this side villain role, you could have thrown anyone into this character.
Yeah, the character didn't get lots of screen time, and yeah, it could have been played by anybody.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste, but that's just the MCU for you. They sometimes waste wonderful actors and basically nothing roles, like they did with Mads Mikkelsen or Christian Bale. Yeah, they're doing a good job, but you could be doing a whole lot more with these characters and these actors.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, like I said, Sidewinder is still alive, so he can come back in a future installment and do some more stuff. In fact, all of the villains in this movie stayed alive at the end of the movie so that they can come back. So that's kind of neat. Stearns is in the raft where Ross was throwing members of Cap's team in Civil War in the middle of that movie after they got arrested. And I guess this is just where they're putting superpowered individuals.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, what were your general thoughts on this movie?
Well, like I said, I was confused at the beginning, but the movie did an okay job with catching you up if you hadn't seen the content that you needed. But still, overall, it was just okay.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like, I like this movie fine enough, but it's definitely my least favorite of the Captain America movies.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it kind of wanted to do something similar to Winter Soldier, where it's taking a contemporary political talking points and framing the story behind them. Because I've seen online people are framing, because I guess spoiler alert for stuff that the ads have blatantly told us, and stuff that's probably going to appear in this video because trailer footage is really all I can use. So at the end of the movie, we see President Ross turn into Red Hulk, which that's what Ross does in the comics. I'm not entirely sure how Red Hulk works as opposed to regular Hulk. I'm assuming it's some sort of anger-related trigger, but whatever. And I've seen people online draw comparisons to real-life political things where you have this angry president in red facing off against this black man in blue, sort of Republican, Democrat colors and all that, red and blue.
Yes.
And then at the end, the president calms down and wants to take responsibility for his actions and goes to prison. You could draw those parallels. I didn't think of that when I saw the movie, though, honestly.
Yeah. I guess you could make the connections there.
Though for some people, everything and anything is political, even things that probably weren't meant to be.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another time. We're not going to get into all that right now.
Nah.
Yeah, I feel like also this particular story was kind of not the most I feel like this particular story wasn't the most it wasn't the most needed story to be told. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that Sam Wilson is getting his own Captain America movie because I really liked him as Falcon. He's a very loyal friend to Cap and all them, but this, I feel like there could have been more substance to this story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because for me, it came and went, and it was over and done with pretty fast. Which, yeah, it didn't waste your time too much, but it also didn't really leave too much of an impact, I think.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because yeah, it didn't seem very impactful. It'll probably be a pretty forgettable movie.
Yeah, I feel like this was one of the MCU filler movies where it's just another thing to come between the last big thing and the next big thing, which, to be fair, it's been a while since the last big thing in the MCU.
Yeah, it has been.
I feel like the last really big thing was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, probably.
And the next big thing, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe one of the Avengers movies. Maybe this year's Fantastic Four, which we are planning to watch the other Fantastic Four movies in preparation for that one. We were going to do the Captain America movies from like the 70s to the 90s, but I didn't really want to punish myself that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we'll get around to them, I guess, eventually. Just, I'd say be patient, but no one's really too worried about that.
No.
Now, would you like to know some trivia about this?
Sure, give me some trivia.
So, Tim Blake Nelson, he had the idea of making the leader's large head a practical effect rather than CGI.
Uh-huh, nice.
Which, in the comics, the leader has just a big old head.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Dude is looking like Jimmy Neutron without the bad hair.
Yeah.
He thought it would help him get into character more and would bring better reactions when his co-star saw him.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, reportedly, William Hurt was really wanting to play the character and get to do Red Hulk before he died.
That's unfortunate.
Same thing with Tim Blake Nelson wanting to come back as Samuel Stearns, given that the last time he appeared in the role was 17 years ago.
Now, I know you probably already said this, but what movie?
The Incredible Hulk.
Okay, that it has been a long time since I've seen that, so I don't remember that.
Which Tim Blake Nelson also unfortunately got shafted when it comes to playing Marvel characters. When he appeared in 2015's Fan Four Stick, he played some character or another. I don't remember, but that movie was also Booty Butt Cheeks Dog Water, so we don't talk about it.
Yeah, I don't even remember him being in that movie.
He was one of the government people. He died, so he got out of the movie quicker than others.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford wasn't really too knowledgeable about Marvel, really, but he signed on to do it because he thought it looked fun.
Yeah.
Same thing with Giancarlo Esposito. He'd been in negotiations to play various Marvel characters, which, if you ask me, I would have really wanted him to play Professor X or something. That would have been really fun. Or, heck, Galactus.
Sure. Don't know who Galactus is, but yeah.
He's the guy that one guy from all the Robert Eggers movies you think is sexy is going to play in Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Okay. So the 17-year gap between the Incredible Hulk and this movie really helped Tim Blake Nelson. Well, it helped him influence his performance, given that the character had a lot of rage and from being locked away in this prison, which Tim Blake Nelson helped credit him to being able to play the character better. Which, yeah, I'm not going to say that Tim Blake Nelson was bad in this movie at all. He's fantastic as always.
Yeah, can't go wrong with him.
It's just, again, the character was not a great plan.
Yeah, it was kind of lacking, but yeah, it wasn't his fault.
No, not at all. Other characters were supposed to appear in this movie, such as Amadeus Cho. He in the comics, he's another version of the Hulk.
All right.
And another version of the Serpent Society, Diamondback, who was supposed to be played by Rosa Salazar of Alita Battle Angel, but her scenes got cut from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about it, really. This movie's perfectly fine enough. It's getting a bit of a shellacking on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics. They don't really care for it too much. Audiences are on the other side of the fence. They seem to like it okay. Yeah, it's a perfectly fine movie. It's a decent 2 hours. There's only one post-credit scene, so that's interesting. And also in the beginning, they didn't do the usual Marvel Studios title, which I thought was a little silly.
Yeah, kind of weird. I don't know why they chose that, but oh well.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Don't matter. But yeah, that's all we have to say about Captain America: Brave New World. Glad to see Sam Wilson coming into his own as Captain America, and I'm looking forward to the next big thing from them, or really the next thing from them, which will be Thunderbolts **, which was, I guess we can finally realize. I finally know why they in the trailer, Bucky says that they can't call themselves the Thunderbolts because, well, President Ross, Thunderbolt Ross is in prison now, so they don't want to draw any comparisons to him, I guess.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's okay. Well, we'll see you later. And yeah.
Yeah. See you next time.